Now, by all accounts, 1984 was a good year. George Orwell wrote a book about it. It was the year I was born, and it was also the year that BMW gave the world the very first M5. Okay, so according to this story that I just read on Top Gear, link is included in the description section. Mercedes developed a monster street version of the 190 named the 2.3 16 valve, sending the spoiler-clad Benz onto the roads in 1983. BMW had nothing to respond with. BMW M opined that motor racing with near-series cars was becoming increasingly popular. At the time of the 190, the 2.3 was indeed the monster Benz. So it went on to work on a faster 5 Series, coming up first with the M535i and eventually the original M5 based on the E28 5 Series of the time. Now, the formula of the M5 was based on the E28 5 Series chassis. BMW took the M88 3.5 litre straight 6 engine from the M1 supercar, plonked it into the 5 Series, gave it trick suspension and a mildly enhanced appearance. So the result was a innocuous looking 5 Series, which you can easily mistaken for a 520i, with performance to rival a sports car, proper sports car. Now, the original M5 was undoubtedly a big success for BMW. In fact, production of the car continued for some time even after the regular versions of the E28 5 Series was discontinued. That actually came back to haunt BMW later, because in 1991, a group of American-based car owners sued BMW for producing more cars than they had initially promised. Apparently, when BMW launched the E28 M5 in US, they promised that they were only going to build 400 or 500 cars, but ended up selling way more than that. So these owners, okay, on the grounds that because BMW produced more cars than they promised, it actually diminished the value of their limited number of cars, and as a result they went on to sue BMW. And guess what? BMW actually settled the dispute by offering all these disgruntled owners $4,000 vouchers in which they can use for the purchase or lease of a subsequent new BMW. Amazing how all these lawyers can come up with schemes to earn money. So BMW has just taken the covers off the all-new F90 M5. It is the 6th generation model after the E28, the E34, the E39, the E60 and the F10. Now, okay, so there are two big talking points of the new M5. I'm going to start with the 8-speed automatic transmission. This is the first time that BMW is putting a torque converter gearbox into the M5. Earlier M5s up to the E39 ran on regular manual transmissions. The E60 had a single clutch SMG gearbox, and then the F10 put dual clutch transmission. So with the F90, BMW took the proven ZF 8HP gearbox, and I am extremely happy for that decision, because with a regular torque converter automatic, you get better low speed smoothness, and also the torque converter in comparisons with whatever single clutch or dual clutch transmission, a torque converter is more robust, so it is able to better handle the M5's increased power output. Which, I mean, for all the arguments that people say about dual clutch transmissions being fast and all that, right? The ZF 8HP is one of the best torque converter transmissions in the business. It is, the shift speed is as good as any dual clutch transmissions out there. If it's slower, Well, it is not by margins that an average driver can detect. So overall, on the balance of things, swapping a dual clutch transmission for the ZF8 HP is a spot on call by BMW M. So the other major talking point about the new M5 is its all-wheel drive system. Some purists will say that, oh, you are diluting the M5's identity with all-wheel drive, but I say bullshit. The M5 has 600 horsepower, it has 750 Newton meters of torque. The M5 is about day-to-day usable high performance. Okay, you put an all-wheel drive system, it helps and it enables the driver to better exploit the superior outputs of this new M5. I mean, what is the use of dialing the performance up to 600 horsepower when you cannot deploy it effectively in all conditions? With all-wheel drive, the M5 will now become a very usable all-weather high-performance car that with a far wider scope of abilities than any of its predecessors. So that is progress for you. There are three driving, because of electronic controls, there are three driving modes you can select with the M5's xDrive system. There is the standard four-wheel drive, the standard mode, four-wheel drive driving mode. There's also the four-wheel drive sport driving mode, which allows you to get a few extra degrees of slip, so that you can indulge in controlled drifting. And there's also the two-wheel drive mode. Now, the funny thing is that, right, to get to two-wheel drive mode is only available with traction control switched off, and this is one thing I don't quite understand. I know there will be drivers out there who want the pure M5 experience. They want all-wheel drive switched off, they want traction control switched off. Fine, but why not have have this in between settings? Why not have, say, four-wheel drive with traction control fully off, and why not have two-wheel drive with traction control fully on? That you cater to a wider scope of needs and wants from drivers. Some less skilled drivers, they want to, maybe the lesser skilled drivers, they want to experience that added agility of a rear-wheel drive system, but they want to do it with a safety net. You don't have that you don't have that option. But some drivers, they want to have that all conquering confidence of an all-wheel drive setup, but they do not want the interference of the stability control system. So you do not have that either. I'm sure BMW engineers have their reasons for this, but until I get to speak to them, this is one big question that I will have unanswered. So that concludes my thoughts on the all-new F90 BMW M5. Do head over to carlist.my to read the international launch article of this car written by my colleague Eric. Until my next video, thank you for watching. Bye for now.